All right, guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cherie. Thank you for clicking on this video today. In today's video, we are talking about Netflix's $1 Million Secret Show. Let's jump right into it. As always, I have my handy dandy notebook here to remind me of the notes that I jotted down, just things that I just wanted, random things that I wanted to talk about this show. So if you are not familiar with the show, this is basically Netflix's version of The Traitors. The Traitors is another reality show, if you're not familiar, that is based on Peacock. So on Netflix version, they were like, we want in on that money too, so we just gonna change a few little things around and we're gonna have our version of The Traitors. So basically, they bring a bunch of people to this island and they stay in this mansion, and because on the Traitors, they're staying in a castle. So they're all staying in this mansion. So basically, the goal of the game is one person has a box in their room that has $1 million in it. And the goal is to find out or be the person with the $1 million in their box at the end of the game. And the goal is for everyone to guess who it is, who has the $1 million. And every episode or so, they vote out a person based on if they think that person has the $1 million. So the goal is at the end, you want to be the person who has the $1 million. So I hope that makes sense to y'all. So the first thing that I noticed is that, you know how I feel about Alan on The Traitors, and I'm going to assume that everybody who's watching this, y'all saw The Traitors too. But Alan is a character. He's the host on The Traitors, and he's really into it. He's playing it up. They have their version of Alan. I don't even remember his name. I didn't even write it down, but I just was like, the whole time was like, you was not Alan. Stop trying to be Alan. So he's playing a character as well. And I'm just like, no, Alan. So instead of going through all of the rules of the game, I'm just gonna go down my notes because I can feel this video getting long and me just beginning to ramble, and that's not what I wanna do. So the first noticeable difference is that the secret millionaire has a task that they are supposed to be carrying out to get advantages for when they come to the dinner or discussion of who they're gonna be voting out. And I felt like this was a good change, but it's like then the people get clues about what the challenge was. So I think if they remove the aspect of, okay, we're gonna give this secret millionaire a challenge, but then we're gonna give them a hint about what the challenge was, I feel like that is automatically telling who the millionaire is in the case of Phil, right? So Phil was the second millionaire, it's the black dude, and he had to get people to scream. And then the clue about that was given to the group was this secret agenda was based on a horror, I can't say that word, horror film. Duh, this is so obvious. Like, oh, the secret millionaire has on a red shirt. Phil is the only person with the red shirt on. Like, I felt like that is just, it was unfair. I didn't like that part, but let me jump back. So the first secret millionaire was Laura. I felt like, and it gets to me that these people get on here and they know what they're signing up for. Just like on The Traitors, they get on these shows and you know what the premise of the show is, but then you're like, oh, I just hate lying and I don't want it, and they're emotional. Why did you sign up for the show? Like, I couldn't play this show because, one, I would forget everything that I was supposed to remember. I'm not good at lying because I would forget that I'm supposed to be lying. So I personally would not sign up for this show because of those reasons. So Laura, she's just struggling with it, and she ends up, throughout, you know, that she tells them that they figure it out, right? And then she tells them, and they move the money so that it moved to somebody else. And once she tells them, then she takes on this persona where it's like, oh, I'm better than y'all because I know how things are working. And she's not sharing with them. So, ma'am, you have an unfair advantage over us. So you gotta go, which they kicked her off because what do you mean you're not sharing with us? And a major difference in this show is that the traders, you kind of are the faithful are working together versus this show where only one person doesn't want to walk away with this million. And just like I talked about in the traders, um, they are only sharing a small amount of money. It's like, I think the UK version I just watched, they won like 94,000 and two people had to split 94 pounds. And then the US version is like, is it 150? But Netflix, one person is going home with $1 million. So you are not working together as a group. You are really working as an individual in this game. So yeah, Laura was a terrible millionaire. And then who was next? So yeah, Phil was next. He was terrible at it. He would just, like, you gotta remain the same. Like, immediately when they see these boxes with the money in their boxes, they immediately just get suspicious of themselves. And it's like, act normal. Like, what is going on? So yeah, Phil was a terrible one. And then the best one so far was Sam. So Sam is the cop, and I think that Sam is playing the best millionaire. Do I think she can make it to the end? I think she has a strong possibility. However, I think that Sydney has a better chance of winning over her. I don't know, because the money moves around and then people start acting different. That's the thing about this. And before we get to Sydney, let's talk about Jamie. Why? I feel like Jamie was doing the most, and I don't like to go in on black women like that on Blue Ivy's internet, but Jamie, you were doing the most. Like, it felt like it came out of nowhere. It was a lot of raw, and I don't want to use that, it was a lot, Jamie. And I'm like, why is this is a lot. So just based off of likability, and I don't think she's going to win. Next, I want to talk about Lydia. So Lydia was the older woman. She was the quote unquote grandma. And she, in real life, she's a professional poker player. And Lydia is my spirit animal because Lydia was just no nonsense. She wasn't doing all that emotional crying and crap. Like, she was there to take numbers and cut throats, okay? And I was so upset when there was a kill shot, and I believe Sam was, in spoiler alert, if you clicked on this, clearly spoiler alert, right? Sam ended up taking her out with the kill shot, but I wanted Lydia to win because I think she was playing the best game. And I think that if she had become the secret millionaire, that no one would suspect her, unless they gave her agenda that immediately outed her. That would be the reason why she would be out. But I think she would have been the perfect millionaire, and I think we missed the opportunity of seeing that play out. Next, let's talk about Se-Young. Se-Young she got out very early on, but again, she just became so emotional. And it wasn't like the attack that Jamie did on Laura. It wasn't even anything like that. There was just questions like, how are you going to come and play this game when someone asks you a question and you are falling out like you at somebody's funeral? Like, what is going on? That's again, like, was there a description that y'all read of the game? Like, what game did y'all think y'all was playing where you wasn't gonna have to defend yourself, you wasn't gonna have to lie, you weren't gonna be attacked? Like, what game did y'all think y'all was playing? All right, let's move on to Sydney and Chris. So everybody kept saying, and it's amazing what the standard of beauty is for some people, because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But they just kept saying over and over how beautiful Sydney was. And let's carry on. But Chris was clearly in love with Sydney, and I don't think he knows that outside of this, I think he really thinks he's gonna have a chance with her outside of this, which he may, I don't know. Based on what we're seeing, it doesn't look like Sydney has as much feelings for Chris as he does for her. So I don't know anything can happen outside of the game, but it was just weird, that weird dynamic. Like, that boy was in love with that girl. And we saw how that played out, because he was a smart player as well, and I think they were wise to get rid of him, because he was really figuring things. He was on to Sam, but Sam just outsmarted him at that dinner, that last dinner. But yeah, I'm glad Chris is gone. And then lastly, in terms of the players that I really wanted to make commentary on, what was his name? Corey. I wrote down that he was very smart. I think he's playing a good game. The way that he did his individual agenda, so for this one wasn't a way of outing yourself. So the way that he flipped it, and he got everyone to say those 3 words, chef's kiss. That was brilliant, smart. No one would think that, because this is the first season of this show. Now, when they do season 2 of this show, people, everybody's coming in already watched the season 1, so they'll be able to, if somebody comes back and did this, then this is what it is. Season 2 is going to be interesting. It really is. But yeah. What was the guy name I was talking about? I forgot just that fast. That's why I can't play this game, because I'll be like, what? Corey, yes. Corey, I think he has a good chance of winning. I think that he would behave appropriately as the secret millionaire. I don't think that he would have that nervous, suspicious, emotional energy that we've seen with the other millionaires. So I'm rooting for Corey, and I'm rooting for Sam. I really want Sam to win based on the people who are left. I really wanted Lydia to win overall. But based on the people that are remaining, I am rooting for Sam and Corey. Because I think they have what it takes to withstand all of and outsmart the other people based on the remaining cast members. So yeah, those are my random thoughts on Netflix's Secret Millionaire show. I believe the last episode, I wonder if they're going to get a reunion. I believe the last episode is going to be released on this Thursday. So I'll probably talk about that either in this week's TV recap, or I might do a separate video for it, depending on, my thoughts on the last episode. Hopefully they have a reunion, but I doubt that they're going to have a reunion. We'll see. Either way, I'll talk about that when that airs this week. Let me know in the comments below, who is your favorite castmate? Not castmate. Who is your favorite character or house guest, I should say? And who you think is going to be the winner when the finale drops this week. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.